Hmm. Mix butter. What would be eggs? Cheese, cheddar, Monterey Jack. Okay, Monterey Jack. All right, let's see here. All right, we're back. Okay, so I totally redid the whole cell phone booster setup. So I apologize. I just got back here later than anticipated. I didn't get it set up properly, and so when I started the stream initially, the booster wasn't on. Then I turned it on, but it was like coming and going. So hopefully it stays with it this time. But what I'm doing now is I've already got the flour and everything all mixed up. The next thing to do is to do 4 eggs in a medium bowl, blend it, whisk in the creamed corn, the green chilies, the cheddar, and the Monterey Jack. I couldn't find the cheddar, so I've just got the Monterey Jack, but I think we'll be good. So let's see, how much do I need of each? See, 4 eggs, 1.5 cups of creamed corn. Okay. Let's see, where's my trusty pocket knife at? Go grab it out of my truck. I gotta get the can opener on my pocket knife. So hang on, I'll be right back. Anything inside, sweetie? All right. So we're gonna open this this can the old-fashioned way. Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I checked the forecast. They said it was going to get to 52 up here today. It's been a pretty warm winter considering. I mean, I've only had a couple nights where it got down below 0. And, I mean, it's like every snowstorm that came through, at least in my location. I know other areas of Colorado got hit pretty good, but my location just never got any accumulation to speak of. I mean, we got had a little bit over at Browns Creek. What's up, girl? But wasn't much. Like that first winter, if you go back and see the winter camping videos that I had from 2015, all those videos, I was socked in with weather the entire time. It was awesome. I got snowed in at camp one time, like 4 days at camp, and it snowed like 3 feet, which was great. So, all right. So let's see how much. 1.5. Zero. Well, I gotta beat these first. What I'd like to do is get to a point to where I can make an entire meal from scratch in the cast iron over the stove, which I think would be killer. Are you hungry for dinner? It's only 3:30. You don't get to eat till 4:30. I think Sierra knows that I'm prepping food, and lately I have given her a little bit more treats than usual, so I've got to tone that down a little bit. Just because when we went to the animal hospital, she ended up weighing 50.2 pounds, which is the heaviest she's ever been. She's usually around 45, so she's about 5 pounds overweight right now. So I've got to get her down, and won't be hard this summer. Once we're out hiking and everything. And now that my back doesn't hurt like it used to, my hip is all better, then we'll be hiking like crazy. I'd like to go down to Page, Arizona and hang at Pine, Arizona, and hang on the Arizona Scenic Trail down there. I don't know if y'all have been down in that section of Arizona, but man, it is amazing. So that's a really cool area. All right, so let's see here. Let me turn on the chat here and see. To kite Manx. No, I haven't got a new panel yet. I'm probably gonna wait because I'm gonna get a different battery setup when I have the topper come. So, um, thanks Cynthia for saying that you love my videos. It's awesome. Um, cool. Yeah, I like the new camera. I think it's a lot better as well. So yeah, I've wanted to learn about canning and stuff like that, especially once I start living in a more permanent structure. In the truck, it's not advantageous to really carry a bunch of canned goods, but you know, just because of limited space, so I carry like perishable items. But once I get into a house, you know, later in life, definitely. So, oh, Al, really? Is it Mike, the friend in there in Strawberry? Sell one. Yeah, I'm gonna sell my topper eventually. So it's kind of unfortunate. I called the AT Overland. I want to get the Atlas, and oh, cool. I'll tell them I said hi. I want to get the Atlas, and I called like 2 weeks ago, and they're like, "Yeah, it only takes like 6 to 8 weeks to get." I'm like, "Sweet." So I thought, well, I'll get some other stuff for my truck and order a bumper and everything. So I'm going to get that installed next month. I thought, oh, I'll get the topper here, and you know, when the next check comes through from Google, and ends up that I called them today to place the order, and they're like, yeah, we're like at 20 months now. I'm like, ah, shit. So it's gonna be a little bit longer than anticipated. I probably won't get the truck topper until August now, so like July or August, but it's all good. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely let you guys know I'm getting ready to sell it. All right, let's see here. Let me go back to the deal here. 1.5 ounces of Monterey Jack, about half of a cup. There we are. But it's been great out here. There's been no one out here. I mean, it's been insane. I'm at a place called Penitente Canyon. For those that want to look it up online, I just don't put it up on the videos, you know, like in the name of the videos because I don't want to blow it up out here. But it's pretty awesome. And this time of year, there's no one here, and it's open year round. So the campground here, you can come here as long as it's not under a bunch of feet of snow. Then you're fine, and it doesn't ever snow that much out here. So, all right, let's see, half a cup of Monterey Jack. Let's do a little bit more since we don't have the cheddar. We can compensate by putting a little bit more Monterey Jack in there. So I was supposed to do a half a cup of both the cheddar and the Monterey Jack, but I couldn't find the cheddar. So for those that are following along, let me put up the recipe again because I don't think it was I don't think that copied over from the last one. So the recipe, I just put it up there. It's from Bon Appetit. It's for cornbread. And Baby Yoda, I'm getting the AT Overland Atlas. It's the new topper they have. They were making one called the oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it. I think it was called something else. But anyway, it was a wedge one that went up like this. And now they have one that goes all the way up and down. And it's nice because it bolts directly to the rails of the truck. So with the slide ins, you know, you lose a lot of the interior floor space of the truck bed, especially on a small truck like mine, with those slide ins because they're just kind of one size fits all. So this will be nice because I can go directly on the rails and then I can build out the interior. I'm just going to build it out man cave style. I'm going to put a big old bench seat in there for me to chill at. I'm going to do a drop down screen for the projector, do like surround sound system, all that stuff. So it'll be really awesome when I get it all done. So, okay, let's see here. Let me go back to. It's so funny. They're like, you got to mix it with a wooden spoon. Well, I don't have a wooden spoon out here. I guess I go get a wooden stick. So, let's see. Mix butter and sugar in a large bowl with a wooden spoon until butter absorbs sugar. But butter is still in small pieces. I see. Okay, so let's put in the cheddar. The Monterey Jack. I don't have the cheddar, unfortunately. Let's see. Cream corn. I hope this turns out good because I freaking love cornbread. Every time I see like a Cracker Barrel, especially when I'm in Arizona, I got to stop and eat and get copious amounts of cornbread. So let's see here. I think I need another half cup of cream corn. But yeah, but back to the truck camping. I'm really stoked for this here because just having more room to stand up. It's got 6 feet 10 inches of headroom, so, and I'm only 6 feet tall, so it's going to be fine. And then I think that I need to do the secondary battery, so that's why I'm not going to do a new solar panel for the Jackery. I can just charge it off my car battery when I'm driving, and use that as kind of like a secondary power source. And then what I'll do is I'll do the secondary battery under the hood, and use that with the alternator, and have the pure sine wave inverter in the back, and run all the cables back to the back of the truck, and then I can have like legit 100 amp hour deep cycle battery that'll last in the cold. Because the problem with lithium ion is that they're great batteries, but they don't operate under 27 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's been, I had a week when I was camping over at Cotton Creek. I had a week over there where it didn't get above like 30, for the entire week, even during the daytime. And so you got to think your batteries are toast if if you don't have a heat source or something like that. If you wake up and you're expecting to turn on your batteries in a lithium ion and it's under 27 degrees, like, you're out of luck. That's why like iPhones fail in the cold and stuff like that. It's all lithium ion. So if you have the deep cycle battery, it's much heavier, but if it just goes underneath the hood of my truck, it's fine because I don't have to transport it around. Then I can just run like, large gauge wires back to the back of my truck. I won't lose any power. And then the battery will always stay charged. When I drive, it'll charge up that secondary battery, and then I can pull from that secondary battery, to power everything in the back of the truck. Then also, if the main battery dies, I can start it from the secondary battery. So it's kind of like a nice insurance policy. The whole setup is like, it depends on, what type of equipment you buy, but anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 for something like that. I got to do this whole can. Oh, got to do it old school again. I don't know if you guys know the story behind this, but this was the pocket knife my dad gave me when I started Boy Scouts when I was 13. So I've had it ever since. Actually, no, I was 13. I think I was like 10. I thought I lost it, and I was going through some old backpacking gear at my folks' place a long time ago, like right after I hit the road, and I was like, I'm just going to donate this stuff to charity, and maybe there's like a youth group that could use it or something. And I was going through all the pockets on my old backpack, and this was in one of the pockets. It was like in the pocket that comes around the hip where your belt clips together. So I was really excited when I found this, and it still has like these old pocket knives like this. They have little things on the end, and they're always missing by year number 2 or 3. But I still have like the toothpick and then the tweezers on this side, and they're still there. So it's pretty awesome that those 2 pieces are still in there. All right, let's drain this real quick. That's not draining the best. We're trying to drain it. It's getting a little bit better. Well, it's good enough. Hopefully I won't mess it up. It's weird. I was trying to drain this, and it just all kept falling out. That looks pretty drained. Yeah, we're good. So, by the way, I wanted to share with y'all that February was the best month that I've ever had on YouTube with analytics, and that's due in large part to y'all tuning in. So I just want to say thanks. Tuned in 1.5 million views for the month so far. So we still have 2 more days of analytics for yesterday and a day to hit, but that was pretty good. And then remember how many hours it was of watch time, but I think it was like 1,100 hours of watch time, or maybe it was something more. Or no, it was like 100,000 hours of watch time or something like that. So it's just cool to see the channel growing because like I'm trying to invest more time in it. I've got another camera coming. I ended up getting a GoPro from my buddy Chris, who's that hiking guy on YouTube. He was like, "Hey man, I got a GoPro 7. I'll sell it to you for cheap." So I was like, "All right." So he sent that over, and then I'm gonna get that drone. I'm gonna do the Mavic Mini, and then I invested in a new software program for video production, and then got this webcam, and so I'm really trying to step up the game with video production, and I want to make it to where y'all feel like it's just like a running story, like I was talking about that last time on the last live stream. So I just want to have it to be to where when you tune in, it's just kind of like, oh, this is what's going on in Brian's life right now, as opposed to like monumental videos that take 2 days to create and a week to shoot, and I only post once a week. I think I'd rather post just more often. And if the video quality is not the absolute best, I can live with that. If I don't have the time to edit it the way I want, but it's all good. So okay, let's see here. So now what we got to do is we got to mix the butter and the sugar in a large bowl, the wooden spoon until butter's right. Okay, let me grab the sugar. Let's see. There's the butter. All right, good. And then. All right, good. We got both right here. I thought the butter was in the truck for some reason. We're gonna put this up here. I hope it doesn't fall. It's pretty clean, It's kind of funny. I was talking to my friends about that. I always forget when I go into town. My hands are usually always dirty, and people must probably think when I'm paying for stuff and I give them like these. I call them homeless hands, and I give them like money or whatever. They probably look at me and think, where's that guy been? My hands are always jacked. And then with camp gear, it's like you look at things, you're like, yeah, that's pretty clean. Yeah, it's generally clean. What do you got, babe? No. What do you got? You want some water? Here. That's what you want. Get some water. There you go. Do you want that? Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's see here. So sugar. 2/3 cup sugar. Oops. Like I said, I don't cook very much. But from scratch, that is. Okay, so 2/3 cup sugar. I got the organic granulated cane sugar, or cane sugar. I don't know if that's better or not, but that's what they had. Let's see. Last one is 1 stick of butter. I'm excited for truck camping this year, though, because going up into the Pacific Northwest is going to be sweet. And then if I need to drop back down in Arizona later in the year to go pick up that truck topper, then that's fine. I can roll with the setup that I have now. And I'm going to do a video on that, so I'll probably shoot that tomorrow. We're supposed to get rain here in the evening, but during the daytime it's supposed to be pretty nice. So since I have all the supplies needed to make the exterior of the truck topper waterproof again, then I'm just going to go ahead and start working on it. So I'll be sure to get a video of that and show you all what I'm working with. I've got it figured out to where when the slide out extension comes out, I had that little bit of a gap between like the fixed roof that I had on there. Now I've got the roof to where it can pivot up. So it gives me like an extra 1.5 inches of headroom, which doesn't sound like much, but when you have literally no headroom in there, 1.5 inches it's nice. So this butter is a little bit too not quite room temperature enough. It's still a little hard, so I got to work this through. It's awesome. It smells like I'm baking something, which obviously I am baking something, but it reminds me of when I was a kid, when I'd watch my mom bake stuff. My mom would make this homemade granola. Holy cow, it's so good. I'll have to get the recipe from her and post it up. but it takes all day to make it because you do all these different stages of baking it and then putting it back and adding more ingredients and then baking more and putting honey on it and then baking more and all that stuff. It's just really incredible. Problem is, she'll send me, like when I go home to visit, she'll send me back out in the backcountry with like a huge bag of granola, and I'll literally just eat that for like 3 or 4 days straight. That amount of fiber back here. Oof. Oh, hey, William. Yeah, Sierra's doing good. She's sitting right here actually with me. I don't know. You can see her. So her head's like right here. Um, she is feeling a lot better. Her appetite's good. She's running around. We had a good time this morning. She was a little bit slow to get up and get going, but I think that's because she was just comfy in bed. And I got up pretty early. I got up around 5 and started making breakfast, and she didn't get out of bed till about 7 when the bacon was in full swing. But she's doing good. Having her back from the vet as far as the blood work is concerned. But the EKG test results were negative. Everything was fine with her heart, and so really anxious to see what the blood tests are. If it reveals anything. So I'll definitely keep people posted. I'll post the video up on Monday when I hear from them, just to give everybody a heads up because I've been getting lots of questions on it. So, and I appreciate everybody that's been reaching out, whether it's through direct email or just on the channel and just wishing Sierra well, because that was pretty scary. Like I had never experienced a dog that had a seizure, especially when it lasted for so long. That was the troubling thing. And so she it was bad, but the doctor was impressed that she bounced back so quickly from such a long one. Because when we got to the vet, I mean, she was doing pretty good. She had her wits about her and she was getting back, to being herself again. And the doctor was like, "Wow, that's a quick bounce back." Because some dogs it'll take 2 or 3 days for them to really bounce back, and Sierra's been acting really good. So, I feed Sierra. It's the Ancient Grains, called the Wild. Organic food, so that's good stuff. Okay, back to this stuff here. Let's see how we're looking. Oh, this whole time I've been sitting here, I've been like, it's so nice and comfortable in here. I forgot that the stove. Yeah, get the stove going again. It's gonna take a lot longer cooking cast iron cornbread than I thought. So it's probably go well into the evening. So grab a bottle of wine, make yourself comfortable. Get in your favorite pair of sweats. All right, we're doing good now. See what the temperature is on here. We're clocking it at 300. I think by the time that I get it's going to flame up pretty quick because there's tools in there. By the time I get all this stuff prepared, we'll be ready to rock. Okay, let's see here. Add egg mixture. Okay. So the recipe's saying now to take the egg mixture and put it in with the butter and sugar there, which is what I did. And you mix until just combined. I'm new to all these terms. Mix until just combined. So I'm thinking that means to have it mixed until it's kind of lumpy and not totally evenly distributed. Oh, the fire got going quick. It's already raging in there. Okay, so we've got that going, and then mix in dry ingredients until barely incorporated. Okay. If this turns out awesome, I'm going to be stoked for breakfast for the next, I don't know, however many pieces this makes. I mean, I'll do like probably 2 pieces a day, maybe last 3 or 4 days. I will be excited. I freaking love cornbread. So it's good that I'm trying this out. I mean, eventually, even if this doesn't turn out that great, eventually I'll nail it and we'll be good to go. So. All right, remove skeleton, lightly coat, scrape and batter. All right, this is looking good. Let me show you all how this is setting up here. Look at that, I feel like a chef. All right, so here's the batter so far. All right. Okay, remove skillet from oven and lightly cover. Okay, I gotta go grab my non-stick spray real quick. We gotta coat the bottom of the skillet. So let me grab that real quick and I'll be right back. All right, now we're ready to party. So let's get this going. So it's saying so if you were to do this in a house, you would be heating up your skillet in the oven, and you wouldn't need to have the top one. You could just have just a 10-inch open face skillet, because when you put this in there, I think it goes right up to the edge of the top, and then when it bakes, it kind of rises just a tad bit and kind of goes over. But it's saying to remove the skillet from the oven and lightly coat with a non-stick spray, and then scraping the batter. It should sizzle on contact and stay lightly mounted in the center. Bake cornbread until top is golden brown and springs back when gently pressed. Roughly 30 to 45 minutes of bake time. Let cool 10 minutes before serving. So let's go ahead and start dialing this in. Let's see how this is going to work. Let's give this one little wipe here, make sure it's all good to go. All set. You stay close here, don't go too far, okay? Sarah's going out for a little evening stroll. Okay, so what I have to do now is just take this, put it in there, and we're jamming. Let me move this over here a little bit so y'all can see how it's looking. I'm liking this new webcam. I think this thing's sharp. It's going to work out well in the future. I'd like to do a lot of webcams stuff from camp, with the truck, and show you guys how I set all that up too. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here. Let's press. Let's pray this works. Oh, whoops, hang on. I want to stir the bottom stuff in here a little bit more. It says to not mix it 100%. Kind of just get it in there, mix it up, but don't make it. All right. I have no idea if I'm mixing this the right way, but let's go ahead and just put it in here and we'll make it happen. All right, well, it's lightly sizzling like they say it should be doing. All right, we're good to go. I tell you what, cooking over cast iron or cooking over wood stove, you know, if you ever see anybody, if you're out and about in mountain towns and you see people that have like wood or have scars on them like this, like you can't really see it now because they're healing, but on my arm here, like scar there, scar there, scar there, and it's from the stove. When you put your hand in there, if you don't have the on, or if it goes past the glove and you don't have arm protection there, if you push up, you know, you hit that lip right there, and it burns your skin. Then over here, I had a burn as well, so you got to be careful with the wood stove. And the main thing is you just got to pay attention and not be an idiot like me. So let's see here. Yeah, Sal, that's where I'm at. I'm in Penitente. So let's get back to doing this. Okay, so I moved off the camera. Where's he at? That's good. See, I love your show. Hey, thanks, Daniel. Appreciate it, man. All right, so let's see. It's 4 o'clock now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of regulate the temperature back and forth. Let me pull this down a little bit so that the lighting's a little bit better. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to regulate the temperature of the cast iron back and forth here. You know, in the previous videos, I've talked about the side shelf and how that's kind of like a cooling area. And so if it gets too hot over the stove box here, which is getting to that point right now, I got to turn this air down a little bit. If it gets too hot here, I can just take it and pull it over here and kind of manage it and make sure that the cornbread's cooking all the way around. Another thing too is that the back part of the stove here is warmer than the front part, okay? Because the air's pulling in from the front, and then the flames are coming up and like hitting this area back here. So this section of the cast iron is going to cook faster. So what you got to do is you got to kind of rotate it every once in a while and just keep going around and just be diligent about moving it about every 5 minutes, and then you'll get a nice even bake around that. But you know, the one thing I want to be careful of is just to make sure it doesn't get too hot on the bottom, because the last thing I want to do is burn that. I can't check it with how deep this is. So I think I'm just going to constantly move it back and forth to cool it off, get it back on, cool it off. And if it takes longer to bake, then, you know, if it takes an hour instead of 30 minutes, then that's fine. So, but it's been cool to learn how to cook over cast iron. I first started cooking over this in 2015 when I got the stove in the tent. And, you know, I'm trying to decide what to do next winter, if I want to do the tent again or if I want to deck out the truck, because I'll have my new topper by then. If I want to deck out the truck with some sort of stove or some sort of diesel heater, and then just do truck camping all winter and jam like that. The only disadvantage, the drawback to the truck camping is that, you know, it's such a limited space in there, and this tent's freaking huge. I mean, it's 168 square feet, which compared to the 30 square feet that I live in the summertime, I mean, you know, this place feels like Taj Mahal. So it's nice to have that in the wintertime, and then you can, you know, you stretch out, and the evenings are long, and listen to podcasts, cook food, just do a bunch of stuff like that. But, you know, it's a lot of gear to carry, and it's kind of a hassle. And I have to plan a lot about when I want to move, and I have to track the weather a bunch. There's a lot more involved in living like this when they have such a large setup. And that's why I like the truck camping so much, and that's why I like the small setup that I have, is I can go anywhere I want. You know, my truck has hardly any mods to it as far as anything that makes it bulkier than what it normally is. Just the roof rack, really, and the awning. And what's nice is the new camper setup, the footprint of it's the same as what I've got right now. If you were to measure the roof rack that I have, and then it hangs out over the front, and then I got the awning that comes to the front, it's like the same exact size. So I'm not going to lose any maneuverability with my truck, which is great. So, but I could see, oh wow, look at that, that's really rising up. That's rising up fast. It smells fantastic. We're just going to leave this over here on the side because that really rose up very fast. Yeah, for Al, the specs on the new topper. Let me put the link in there. So hang on. Let me do this real quick. Oh, James, the tent's waterproofed. It comes like that. It comes treated, and then Cabela's sells an additional treatment if you want to redo it, which is, but they say about every 5 years you should retreat it. All right, let's see here. Let me pull up the Overland AT link. Okay, so here is the truck topper link. For those that want to look up the specs and stuff and kind of see what that truck topper is all about that I'm getting, there's the link for the toppers. So, like I said, they're out, over 20 weeks now with their delivery. So, it's that 5 months, a long time. But whatever, that's what I get for dragging my feet. I had ordered the other one. I had the one that, like I was saying, the wedge one, and I think that one's called the Summit. And I canceled that order just because I was like, I don't want the wedge. I've heard too many things about it with the wedge. If you're sleeping with your head down there, it feels weird because the wedge is like right here, and if it falls on you, it just crushes your head. And then like with your feet down there, if you put your feet down where the wedge is, I've heard it can be a little uncomfortable because it's like a small foot box. So you can't just like lay there with your feet up or all that stuff. So I started thinking, I'm like, well, why don't I just wait and not get that wedge and wait for one? Because I've always been waiting for one that would just pop up like that, but that would bolt directly to the rails on my truck bed. And then finally they came out with it. So I was like, so that's brand new. And yeah, it's a pretty long time. It's actually shorter than all the other companies, which is good, but it's still long. But it's just all those products are in demand now. So those companies are being inundated with lots of orders. So James, I use the Outdoorsman axe from Gerber. Let's see. I think it's outside. It's in my truck, but it's great. I mean, the Husqvarna axe, you cannot go wrong with anything Husqvarna. Husqvarna is solid. But I just bought the Gerber one a long time ago, and I've just stuck with it. It works pretty good. And those Outdoorsman axes are great. It's like, once you get them down, you can swing that axe all day long and not get super tired. Just letting the axe weight, the head weight, just doing its work. Man, you just split wood all day. I've done it now to where I can do like trick shots with the wood. I'll line it up and I'll stack 2 pieces of wood over about 15 feet to the left, and I'll cut the wood, and sometimes I can chip it over to where it'll land close to it. And one time I had it land directly on top of the other two, and I was like, fuck, if I would have got that on film, that would have been amazing. But it's just fun to do. And then I can also do one-handed, chopping wood and stuff like that. So I kind of do things like that to keep myself occupied at camp when I'm bored. By the way, this is looking really good. Check this out. So far, we've got a full plate in there. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my spoon here and just kind of look around the sides. Oh, yeah, that's looking good. Here, I'm going to bring you over here and check this out. So I'm going to pull you off of this. Smells phenomenal. Here, I got to go underneath the cord right here. Hang on one sec. But smells super good. And let's see, where's my spoon that I was going to use to show y'all? No. But anyway, that's what we're looking at the moment. Rose up about 1 inch already. And I'm going to go ahead and put the other cast iron on there to create that oven effect to make sure the top bakes. Because I know the bottom's getting plenty done, or not done, but yeah, I can see it's baking because when I was using the spoon and pulling to the side, you could tell. Oh, there's this one right there. You can tell that the further down it is, the more it's baking. Obviously, if it's closer to the heat. So back over here. So anyway, if y'all want to see my camp, I could show you that real quick. How don't we do that? Since this is baking right now, I'm gonna take the webcam here. We're gonna walk around for a sec. All right, going mobile. So looking out here, those are all the lava tubes over there that you can't. It's kind of hard to see, even when you're here. It's kind of hard to see the complex nature of them. But if you're over next to where those lava tubes are, that is where all the hiking is. And some of those tubes, when you hike up to that area over to the left, that's where the Skyrim Trail is at. And that area is where you can look down into the lava tubes, and it's amazing. So here's my little picnic table, and then, hey Sarah, you want to come over here? This is really nice. Here's my view from the fire pit, and so I hope you guys can still see me. I'm kind of far from. Whoops, let me turn this off. Yeah, darn, I wish this thing had a zoom because you could see the Sangre de Cristo's way over there. But it's beautiful at night because the sunset is amazing, and it's just like the view coming in because the sun will set back over here behind the tent, and looking towards this way, the sky will just be like blood red, and then the mountains that are way over there, and you can see the white caps on them. But I wish this had a zoom so you could actually see that. So let's see over here. So the hiking trail is actually really close. Hey, Sierra girl. Uh-oh, where'd you go? Hey, Sierra, where are you at? Come on, girl. Over here. Sierra, sweetie. Come here, girl. She ran off somewhere, which is typical, but she's probably either down there at that other person's camp, or because there's one other person camping over here, or she's over in this section. She likes to run over in these rocks over here. So let's see if she's up on the deal. I gotta say, I'm kind of impressed with this mobile router that I have, that I'm able to like walk around this far. Oh, there she is. Here she comes. Come here, girl. Come here. Come here. Come here. What you doing? What you got, babe? Oh boy. All right, that's a little Sierra view for you. So, but let's see what else. I was going to show you the hiking trails right over here. So, hey, Sierra, come on, let's go, so babe. I am impressed with this router that I'm able to do this. Yeah, I'm in Colorado. This place is Penitente Canyon. Okay, I'm getting pretty far from camp right now, so I'm hoping that my connection will stay. If it doesn't, I'll walk back over to the router. But I wanted to show you that just from camp right there, like you can see my camp right there, the trail is right here. So like I can walk out of my camp and be on the trail system here. I mean, I'll be here in like 10 paces. Let's see if my internet's gonna hold. Yep, it's holding. So like here's the hiking trail right here. And so I can jam out of my tent and then come out here and hike around, and it's just, I mean, it's convenient, and there's no one out here, and it's $11 a night for this campground, and you can jam into Del Norte and nothing flat. And actually right now there's no fee to camp here because the campground host got terminated, and unfortunately, and they don't have anybody right now to fill it. Hey Sarah, come on, let's go this way. Come on, let's go. They don't have anybody to fill it at the moment, so no one's down there taking money. So if you want to come over here and camp right now, you can probably do it for free. But I went ahead and paid. I paid through until I think I'm going to stay till Wednesday and then go over and see Craig over in Gunnison. But the area around here is amazing. It's all made from lava, and there were 17 different massive eruptions around here, and apparently the eruption number, I think they said eruption number 16 was the one that caused all these huge lava tubes over here. So hang on one second. I'm going to put this back up here. We got to check on the cornbread real quick. Ooh, that's, put that over here. I want to show you what's going on. So it's kind of almost boiling a little bit in here, but it's, it's definitely cooking up, looking good. The smell is phenomenal. So that's awesome. I just gotta make sure that I don't cook the bottom of it too fast and not have the top of it cooked. And having this off doesn't help, because this is what creates the oven, is having that hot thing on there. So let's see what else. Oh, why don't I show you what I'm going to do with the bumper? So I kind of ran into a pole the other day. Unfortunately, I backed into one. What's up, girl? Oh, I got to get her. I'll give her some treats here in a second. I ran into a pole, and let me do this real quick. That's kind of a cool shot. But I wanted to show you that I ran into this pole. I was out scouting for a place to get water, and I backed into this pole right here, which is fine because these bumpers are crap. And so I'm actually going to get a new bumper. It's from a company called Brute Force, and it's a bumper that comes across this way. It comes up here and it tracks a line right here underneath the tailgate or the rear tail light there, and then it comes across this way. So they actually cut off all this part of the Tacoma here, and then it's rise like a high clearance bumper, so that if you're going through areas and you've got like an exit that requires a steep incline coming out, you won't drag anything on the bottom. So got that coming. It's got a huge swing out that comes out like this and a table that drops down. So I'll be able to, when I've got the tailgate down and then the swing bar out with that down, it'll be like a big L-shaped table right here that I can work on gear, which would be sweet. So I'm pretty stoked for that. So, all right, Sierra, come on, let's go inside. I'll get you your dinner, babe. Man, it smells so good. This is gonna be horrible. Here I am, like trying to get in shape and all this stuff, and now I'm gonna bake cornbread and cookies and everything else, which is fine. I mean, I'll just have to hike a little bit more and make sure that I don't. Woo, that's looking good. Keeps on rising too. So, all right, let's see what else. Oh, let me feed Sierra real quick. I gotta run into the truck and grab her treats real quick. Come on, sweetie. Over here. Come on, Sierra. Oh boy. That's right. All right. Anybody know what type of wood this is? It's black walnut. That stuff will burn forever in my stove. And it's nice because in the Midwest, it grows like a vine, so you can literally get it anywhere out there. Out here, it's hard to get, so that's what I get through the wood broker that I use down in Poncha and 285. They have 17 different types of hardwood, which is really great for wintertime around here. Because the pine wood up here, I mean, I could get probably, if I have 3 of these, or if I have 2 big ones, 2 big ones and then a smaller one to put on top, so you make like a little triangle. If I have the airflow set right, I can get about a 6-hour burn out of these. With pine, I can't even get an hour and a half. And so that's the difference in the type of wood. So you got to think, like, if you're using pine and at night, getting up every hour and a half, you're not even getting any REM sleep. So you'll be wrecked by the end of winter if you're just using pine wood. So that's why I pay extra to get, the woods that actually perform well in the wood stove. And, it's a little bit of a hassle having to run to town every week and a half to go get the special types of wood, but it does it to where I can sleep well at night and not have to get up, and stoke the stove every hour and a half, that would literally drive me crazy. I think that would just be not cool. So thank you, sweet. All right, let's get back to this and see. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Anything about the stove or anything about Sierra? Anything in general? If you do, put it up there, and I'll try to pay attention. I'm trying to pay attention to this and also to that. So it's I'm a guy. Guys aren't built for multitasking. Isn't that right, ladies? So, doesn't look like. Oh yeah, the smell of red cedar, James. That's the best. It was great this morning. I didn't even notice it, but I had some wood. Let's see, where was it? I think I might have used it all. but I didn't notice that they had a little bit of cedar in here because I asked them, I was like, hey, do you have any cedar? And they're like, no. Because, you know, there's a wood shortage this year for firewood because China is outbidding all the firewood, big firewood companies. And China's using that firewood to power their power plants. So that's why there's a wood shortage. But they were able to get in a bunch of different types of wood, but they couldn't get any cedar. And I was like, oh, man, because I like to have cedar at night, even though it pops a little bit in the stove. You know, it's a little bit of a louder wood. It just smells great. And when you're doing laundry, and like when I hang the laundry on the stove here and the cedar, I mean, it smells so good. I'll go into town and girls will be like, man, you smell great. I'm like, ah, thanks. So it's like au naturel scent, you know, from Mother Nature out here. But let's check this real quick. Good. It's actually going faster than I thought. We've got, let's see here. All right, I'm gonna have to plug in my laptop. I'm running low on juice, so hang tight. I'll be right back. Oh, here's the cord. I may have to start up the truck and fire up the inverter because the Jackery battery here is running a little low. But we should be in good shape if it's only for a little bit longer. Yeah, Martha. Yeah, the beans and ham. I do have smoked ham. I've got really good smoked ham that I'm stoked to have with that. And then I've got stuff to make an avocado salad. And I've got sweet potatoes that I'm going to cube up for dinner. And then I'm going to have cornbread with it. So no, I'll have cornbread probably for dessert. And then I'll probably have cornbread at midnight. And then I'll probably have cornbread at 4 a.m. And then again at 7 a.m. So it'll be gone by the morning. Smells so good. All right. Let's see here. This place is a mess. I'm definitely going to be spending some time cleaning up this evening. But why don't we go ahead and I want to look and see what this looks like with the spatula kind of going around the sides. So let's do this real quick. All right, look at it, girl. Man, that smells good. Those green chilies in there smell great. All right, it's looking really good. Here, I'm gonna pull this off and show you. It's getting a little bit golden brown around the edges. So, like if I pull back here and look, you can see how it's starting to get baked in there, and but the center part is still real gooey. So I think we're gonna need to just put the other skillet top on there and just let it bake for a while, maybe like a good 10-15 minutes, and let it do that. So we're just gonna let that sit there. So all right, so with that topper, like I was talking about, with the topper having a much longer delivery time than I anticipated, I think I'm just gonna go ahead like with my plan. I was originally thinking, okay, I could get the topper, I could have it by May, which isn't possible anymore. But I thought, well, I could have it by May, and then I could do a build out during the month of June, and then July I could go volunteer at Everson Ranch, that off-grid ranch that's so awesome that I'd be able to camp on site and all that stuff. And then I thought, well, the topper's not ready till August. It doesn't really screw up the plans at all. I can just go there after I get done with the ranch. And so I think this spring, you know, like I was saying earlier, I either want to roll to Bears Ears and do like the Bears Ears Moab loop and then come back through. I got to renew my tags in Denver in April. And then I want to get that bumper installed and everything else. I got a snorkel coming too for the truck. Or maybe I just stick around here in Southern Colorado and just kind of bounce around the different hot springs for the next couple of weeks. And then latter part of March, go up to Buena Vista and go to Tompkin Machine up there and have them do all the upgrades for my truck, because I trust them and they're really good at their work. Then I could roll into Denver, get my tags renewed, and then I could just head west and then just start going wherever, you know, head up into Idaho and all those different things. And then come back for July here and then head back down to Arizona for August. And then maybe spend the the winter, like I used to live on the beach in Southern California. I used to surf every day. I loved it. I miss surfing. So it'd kind of be fun to go out there in California and maybe even go to like Baja, Mexico, take my surfboards with me and just go jam up and down the coast. But I don't know. We'll see. The one thing I've noticed, the one thing about this lifestyle, about living this way, is like things change all the time. So you can make plans and say, okay, next week I'm going to be out at Escalante and I'm going to go on this hike, and then next week rolls around and you find yourself in southern New Mexico. That happens all the time. And so I try not to make plans very much because my schedule's it's got to be fluid when you live this way, and things come up, and like truck repairs. Like I haven't said it, but my truck's been in the shop 3 times this past month, so it was annoying. I had a ignition coil had to be replaced, had to get a new battery. Cylinder number 6 was misfiring, so I got all the cables and everything replaced. And stuff like that seems to happen a little bit more on the road, just because I think you're in your vehicle so much more than if you're in a house. And so it's kind of hard when those things come up because it's just annoying. You're just like really, more expenses on the truck. I mean, all those expenses I had a couple years ago with the new engine and everything. So, but you look at the grand scheme of things, and when those situations comes up, just if you're fluid with your schedule and flexible, then it works. So, I've got 307,000 miles on my truck. Let's see, Sierra blood test results. Hey, Martha, not yet. We haven't gotten back yet. So I was surprised I didn't hear from the vet today. So I think they're open tomorrow. If not, then I'm calling first thing on Monday. But I'll be getting in touch with him for sure and seeing what's shaking. But Sierra seems to be doing pretty good. I mean, she's running around, having fun. She was chasing tennis balls this morning when she got up and went outside. So I am so excited for this. It smells amazing, and I thought this was going to be harder to make, but it's actually pretty simple. So maybe doing this more often. It'd be cool to do this over a campfire, just like the coals. I like to cook over that too. The only thing about that is it gets the cast iron so dirty with like all the black soot that gets on there and everything. And then if you put that in your camp or something like that, it gets everything else dirty, which is kind of annoying. Looking good. All right, let's see here. Let's see. How do I get mail? Well, I used to have an address in Crested Butte, a mailbox there. I just canceled it. So I have everything now sent to my folks' address in Kansas, and they just forward it to me. But I don't get mail much anymore because for a long time, I just always kept sending mail back to people when it was like all that junk email and everything. So I got taken off all the lists, and I barely get mail anymore, which is nice. So I have all of my documents come to me, like bank statements and everything, digitally. So that helps. To Keith, what made me decide on the Bighorn tent? The thing that made me decide on this over like a walled canvas tent is the weight. It's about half the weight of a normal walled canvas tent. So I thought, well, it's less weight. It's easier for me to put up by myself. I mean, one person can put this up in 15 minutes, which is pretty simple. And so I like that nature of it. And then also too, the aerodynamic design. It can handle winds up to 90 miles an hour. So I thought, well, it gets pretty windy in these locations, so it'll be good to have that. So let's see. Could something have bit Sierra Blossom? Oh, hey, Crystal. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I checked her over, and the vet did too. We couldn't find anything on her. So no ticks or anything like that. So I'm not really sure what was going on. Sal, I actually don't have a pistol right now. I did have a 45. I want to go get a 9mm, so I'll be getting that next week. Let's see. It'll be Monday. So yeah, I'll be stuffing my face with this. So I won't have time tomorrow to put any videos up. Yeah, those coals on top would be nice. That would definitely be cool. To Terry, I'm 6 feet tall. And so the tent has 8 feet 6 inches of head, or 8 feet 10 inches of headroom in here, so it's pretty nice. Let's see what else. Everything's going good with the tent. The only thing is over the years, I don't know if y'all can see. Let me take this off here. I've burned a bunch of holes in my tent floor. So I've got the tent floor liner, which is this, and then the actual tent. You can see over the years, like all the coals that drop out of the stove. Because at nighttime, if I'm like if I open this up and then I adjust the coals, sometimes they'll pop out, and if you don't grab them quick enough, it'll burn a hole in it. What's amazing though is the coals can sit here for a couple seconds before the holes set in, because it's a fire resistant material. So, but that's about the only thing that's really damaged in the tent. Other than that, the tent has held up amazing. I mean, there's like, there's no holes in the tent, no nothing. There's no leaks. I mean, it rained the other day here, no issues whatsoever. So I'm pretty impressed. I mean, I've been living in this tent. This is now the fifth winter and full time. And this is the shortest time that I've been in it for winter time. The longest I've been in is 5 months, and it's easy now with the lag screws that I have with the bolts to just drill them in and out of the ground when the ground's frozen. So I can just go to a new place, clear the snow out, put the tent down, and be good to go. And then when I'm ready to leave, I don't have to wait for like a real sunny day for the ground to soften up for me to get my tent stakes out. I can just unscrew with a drill. I can unscrew those lag bolts, and I'm good to go. So it's kind of nice once you start living this way and you've been on the road for a long time. You just start realizing different things that make your life easier, and it's become now to where it's just a flow for me, which is great. So let's see, the coldest that I've camped in was -35, and the wind chill was like -57. So that was pretty cold. I had to keep the stove going up full bore, so I had to stay up all night that night. But it was still like 60 inside my tent, which is almost a 100-degree temperature swing, which is amazing. How much did I pay for the tent? The tent was $1,000. The stove was $250. Have you done any camping in Canada? No, I've not done any camping in Canada. I've only been to Canada once to go snowboarding and to visit Vancouver, and that's it. So I'd love to go up there and camp, and I also love to go to Alaska too. So we'll have to figure that out. The problem is like I keep on doing all this adventuring in the American Southwest, and I keep telling myself like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go international, and I keep finding all more and more places to go that are incredible. And I tell everybody, I'm like, you don't have to leave the States in order to have amazing adventures. And like, I've really only, truly only spent a really good portion of time in like central Colorado and southeast Utah over the past 4.5, almost 5 years. And for those who've been following me, it looks like I've been everywhere, but it's like I've been to like new locations in all those areas. So, and there's so much stuff to see. I haven't even hit everything yet, and that's like a fraction of what's out here. So that's why I love living like this in the American West, because you can go anywhere you want. So let me check on Sierra real quick and make sure she didn't run off again. So hang tight. I'll be right back. Hey, Sierra girl.
Here's Sierra. What I found.
Come here. Yeah, looks like we're gonna go on a walk again. Sierra's running around somewhere, but I don't know where. So let's go find her. Looks like a little bit of a storm cell is coming in too, which is kind of cool. So maybe Alaska mosquitoes. No, yeah, I don't want that. To James, no, I've never seen any UFOs. I've been looking, but just haven't found them or haven't seen them. All right, let's go find Sierra. Pull this off. Do this. All right, Sierra girl. Sierra. Oh yeah, the Milky Way out here, it's unreal. Yeah, I see it every night pretty much, which is it's just amazing. I mean, it's one of the coolest things about camping, especially on a night where there's no moon. Hey Sierra, come here, girl. Yeah, she usually doesn't stray far from camp, but the problem is she never makes any noise, and so I don't know where she's at. So, Sierra girl, come here. Sierra. Come on, girl, over here. Well, as you can tell, she's running around doing whatever. Yeah, it was kind of unfortunate, that microdosing post that I put up, and I had it on. What was the name of that? It was another video sharing site that's popular in the UK, and I didn't think it'd be against their terms and conditions, but they shut down my account. So I'm just surprised that video received such backlash. I mean, for YouTube, man, they deleted it. They sent me a warning. They're like, don't ever do that again. I was like, all right. But then if you type in microdosing mushrooms, there's like a million other videos that come up. Hey, Sierra, come here, girl. Where are you at? Sierra, come here. It's kind of concerning. Come on, girl. Sierra, come here. Let's see where she's at. I am impressed that this router has such a wide range. Okay, Sierra, come on, girl. Where are you at? Let's go. It's still holding good right here. God, I'm far from camp too. I do not know where Sierra is. Hey, come on, girl. There she is. Hey, sweetie. What are you doing? Okay, come on. Let's go. Yeah, I was looking at those GPS trackers, actually. So, because the only problem is the GPS trackers. Come on, Sierra, over here. They pair with your cell phone, and they work off the cellular network, which I think is so stupid. It's like, if it's going to be GPS, it needs to be able to go off grid. Whoops. All right, let me plug back in the power here so we can make sure our computer doesn't go out. All right, cool. We're good. All right, Sierra, come here, girl. Come on, in here. You gotta stay with me now. We're gonna get you up on the bed. Come on, up here. Come here. Let's get you up here. Come on. Come here, sweetie. Up here. Okay, come on, up here. Okay. Good girl. There you go. All right, let me show you where Sierra is. No, just stay there. Just stay there. So we got Sierra right here on the bed. All right, babe. Just stay with me, all right? All right, let's see here. Oh, Al, thanks, man. Thanks for that $5. All right, let's see how we're looking here. Woo! All right, the middle's getting firm, so I think we're getting close. I want to see how it looks around the sides, so let me grab you and bring you over with me, and I'll show you. Oh, man, this smells amazing. Holy cow. Let me grab this real quick. It smells so good. All right, so. Oh, yeah. You can see it's firm now in the middle. It's just a little moist, so I'm gonna let it cook for a little bit longer, and then we'll see what it's like here in just a sec. I gotta say that I am impressed with kind of how easy this came together, because I thought it was gonna be more complicated. Like, literally, the most complicated part was the comical event of me walking around the supermarket before I was trying to find the ingredients, because I'm too proud to ask. So that was kind of funny. I think the people in the store were just wondering, like, what's this dude doing? I had like 3 or 4 items in my cart, and I'm like walking every single aisle, looking at every single thing, not knowing where the stuff is. So I think as I dive into more cooking here, especially over cast iron or with the cast iron, you know, I'm going to get a little bit more familiar with what goes with what, and then I can start cooking some really fun dishes, which would be cool. But I'm excited for this. I mean, it smells amazing, and just like warming this up with some butter, and having a cup of coffee with it. I just can't. Oh, I was gonna say, if you all are ever going through Colorado, you got to stop off in Moffett to let me show you this. It's a really good small batch coffee roaster, and it's called Mirage Roasting Company. And they're in Moffett. They use a small batch roaster, and I think it's like from the late 1800s or early 1900s. It's like this small little batch roaster. So it's all small batch roasts that they do. And this is the Sumatran dark roast, and it's so good. I mean, it's the best coffee I've ever had. They have a light roast, and I'm not a big light roast fan, but it's an Egyptian or an Ethiopian light roast, and man, it's just like the best coffee you've ever had. So stop in there. I mean, if you've ever been to Moffett, it's not a tourist town. Let's put it that way. It's not very nice, but that place is solid. So stop off in there and get some coffee beans for sure. All right, let's see. We're gonna let that go a little bit longer. I'm just getting anxious because I want to try it out. Don't flip it; it will fall apart. Yeah, don't worry, I won't. Have you been to Nathrop? Yeah, I used to go through Nathrop all the time. Yeah, light roast does have more caffeine. I was kind of surprised to learn that light roast has more, because the dark tastes more bold and the light tastes kind of more watery in my opinion. But this means you just got to drink double the amount of dark roast, I guess. So, thanks, Mike, about the compliment on the videos. I've not done any ice fishing, so don't have any ice fishing stories in Colorado, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm excited for this season to start fly fishing again. I didn't fly fish very much last year, and the reason being is I was in a bunch of new places and truck camping in a bunch of new spots. And then I was up in Crested Butte, and then for like 4 months in the summer working for the town, and there were some okay places up there to fish, but I never really got into a good groove because there's just so many people that visit that area. Like they were averaging 4,000 tourists a day during the Wildflower Festival, which is the peak time out there. So it was just with that many people around, it's like you're bumping elbows with people and all that stuff. So I'm excited to fish some more remote waters this year. And if I am able to volunteer in July at the ranch like I want to do, all those lakes way up in the Sangre de Cristos, like no one goes to them because the hikes are brutal. The wilderness boundary starts where, like in the valley, where the mountains basically jut up out of the valley there. So you go from Valley Florida like way up high to tree line, 7,000-8,000 feet to like 12,000 feet, and some of those trails are 10, 15, 20 miles long to get back to some of those lakes. But as a result, for being so hard to get to, the fish are huge. And so I really would love, hopefully in July, like I was saying, get on at the ranch, volunteer there for that month, and then on my days off when I'm not volunteering at the ranch, I could go up and backpack up into those lakes and fly fish and show you all some of those trout. Because like I've been to a couple of the lakes, I mean like cuts like this were the norm, and then you'd see the bigger ones and you're just like, holy shit, those are like 20 to 24 inch cutthroats, and that was just the norm. So that's rare in Colorado these days. So yeah, Adam, yeah, they're quiet, that's for sure. Wildlife camp scares from James. Yeah, just that one situation up by St. Elmo with the weird animal that ran into camp. Let's see. Oh yeah, I've got Facebook. It's Off Grid Backcountry Adventures, but I don't post on it hardly at all because I'm always just posting on YouTube. So YouTube's my main social media, like the one I'm most active on. So let's see here. But yeah, so back to the Sangre de Cristos. That's another great thing about him is like it's that whole mountain range from basically I think Villa Grove all the way down. That's where. I know it's Hayden Pass. From Hayden Pass all the way down. That's all wilderness area. So like no one goes into wilderness area. Only 4% of people that visit public lands ever step foot in the wilderness area. So if you ever want to get away from people, just go into a wilderness area and go hiking. You don't see anybody. And so, but a lot of people don't want to do that. They want to be close to their vehicles. Maybe they have a vehicle like mine where it's like they got everything they need, and they don't want to be too far away from it. And I get that because I don't like leaving my truck at trailheads. But over there, I don't know. It's a different type of Colorado. It's not very many people, and it's really nice. For Lady Alex, says how's Sierra? Sierra's doing great. She's bounced back real well. We're just waiting to hear back from the vet for the blood test, so we'll see. So yeah, the San Juans are just killer. But in the Steamo is good. Okay, cool. What I'll do, I'll just do this. I just think about using these skillets like this is that if you see on the side here, like right here, you can vent it because right there the vents are closed. Now the vents are open, but it's still, keeping it nice and warm in there. I am stoked. All right, let's see what else. Yeah, it's finally a bit warmer in Colorado. Yeah, backpack camping is kind of rough. You gotta get kind of worried, or you gotta get kind of dialed in with your gear and find the right sleep systems and stuff like that. So it takes a big time commitment to get out there and get comfortable with stuff. And it took me a long time to get to the point to where I was like, okay, I'm comfortable with this. I know I can sleep on it fine. I get plenty of rest. I've got the right amount of cook gear and like the right stove with me and all that stuff. But it takes a while to get it going. So. Any future upgrades to my campsite? No, not really. None that I can think of. Let's see here. Whoops. Let's see what is this all about. Okay, there we go. I was trying to get back to the questions here. Yeah, you can just leave the stove to burn out by itself. One thing you can do too is like if you leave camp, you can just take the damper on the front here and just turn it off to where there's no airflow going through, and it's perfectly safe. And so, if I need to leave camp and I'm almost noticing the stove's still going, you can just turn the airflow off on the front and it'll just smolder out on the inside. And it's in an enclosed steel box, so it's safe. So you don't have to worry about anything happening. So I'll do that every once in a while. Yeah, Martha, I love New Mexico. I was down in southern New Mexico this past fall. It was really nice. Susan, yeah, every once in a while, I'm going to get some people fixed, so I'd head into town and I'll either go to a coffee shop or a brewery and chat with people and just kind of be social that way. Another thing I like to do is I love going to hot springs and camping close to hot springs, so I usually see people at hot springs and then chat with them as well. And then I don't actually have a cell phone. I don't have cell service. What I do is I have a wireless router. It's I'll show you here real quick. Just this little thing here through NetBuddy. And I'm able to get unlimited data for a mobile hotspot. And so I can make calls through like Skype on my computer or through FaceTime audio. If somebody's on iOS, I can call them or text message them. Or through Skype, you can text message through Skype too. So I can do that, and that way I can talk to people and get my people fixed. And then also too, I meet up with people and camp with people too. So like other nomads that are out running around doing what I do, we'll coordinate time to get together and hang out and do some stuff from camp and just kind of kick it. So all right, I'm gonna clean this thing because it's currently a mess. And then we're gonna get ready for cornbread. Ooh, dang, that is looking so dang good. I think we're getting really close. So we're gonna clean this, and then we're gonna get the stuff off. Let's see, where is my little scrubber? There it is. It's kind of cool. Check this out. There's a water bubble on the stove right there. And as it gets hotter, it will get that gyrating like that. It'll get faster and faster as it gets hotter and hotter. And then eventually it'll get to the point where it's hot enough and it'll kind of like explode, but not explode, but just separate, and then it all just evaporates. The little stuff you notice after living like this for a while. So, all right. Okay, let's see. Get this ready to go. This. All right, so today's Saturday or Sunday? Let's see, it's Saturday. Let's see. Okay, I've got some tin foil around here. I think it'd be a good idea to maybe wrap it and like have it on the underside, and then I could keep it protected so it wouldn't get too dried out, which I think would be the way to go. I don't have any large plastic bags to put them in, or else I'd put in a large, like quart-sized plastic bag. There it is. James, you asked what type of equipment I use. I just have a Canon G7X Mark II camera. It's that I use for video and also for pictures. And then I've got a GoPro 7 coming in the mail on Monday. And as far as video editing software, I use Final Cut Pro. And then I have a MacBook Pro that I use for my computer. So, let's see here. Yeah, Robin, we found Sierra. She's let me show you all what she's doing right now. What's up, girl? We got cornbread coming. Oh boy. So we're good to go there. So I'm wondering what I should do with this. If it all just kind of comes out like a cake onto this, or if it's kind of what's the best way to get this out of there. Because here's what we're working with right here. Pretty firm on top. It's pretty moist. I just hope that I've cooked it enough that I just don't want it to be, I don't know. So yeah, I love Joe Rogan. I listen to that dude every day. Him and also Bill Burr. And then I heard Tom Papa has a podcast, or no. Is it a podcast? Yeah, he's got a podcast. And then I just started doing Joey Diaz podcast, so we'll see if that's any good. The one I've been impressed with, though, is Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson. Man, he's got some good guests on there. And Tyson himself is actually a pretty deep dude. So it's interesting to listen to him talk about, his experiences and all the stuff he's been through in life. All right, I think we're going to give it 2 more minutes, and then we're going to take it off. I just want to be sure. I want to take it off right now, though. So, yeah, that Evander one, I haven't listened to that yet. The one about Ken Shamrock, that USC fighter, holy cow, that guy has had a rough life. I did not realize that guy had been through so much. I listened to that podcast, and I came away with it with a entirely new respect for that individual. Just the fact that guy didn't give up on life, that's amazing. So that's a good deal. No, I'm not listening to Jack Spurko. I'll have to check that out. Jay, yeah, that's I understand about wanting to move away from the Denver. It's a great town, but there's just too many people, When I moved there in '98, it was awesome, man. You could leave the tech center at 4:30 at night and be in downtown, because I had an apartment downtown, I could be downtown in my apartment on the couch in 30 minutes from the tech center, from like Arapahoe and I-25 down to 20th and Grant Street, which is crazy. So, all right, we're taking it off. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it to it here. Just make sure it's bouncing back real good. It seems pretty firm. So let's go. Let's do this. All right. I'm gonna turn the camera. Let's hope I don't mess this up. Here we go with the cornbread. First time ever making it. Looks really good. So let's hope that let's hope it turns out as good as it looks and smells. Look at that on the bottom side there. Nice. It didn't get burned. It's a little crispy, but it did not get burned, so that's good. Ta-da! First ever cornbread. Made in the wood stove. Or made, not in the wood stove, but over the wood stove. So there we go. Nice and firm. So it's all doing well. Let's let me pull this up a little bit here. I'll show you what it looks like around the edges. So essentially, I mean, it's, you know, it's done, but it's not burned. So I'm really impressed with how this turned out. Now this side, you can tell, obviously it was a little bit more done than like that side right there. So you can tell which side was closer to the stove and which one was more on the shelf, but it looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and let's see, I got the butter right here. And heck, we're just gonna eat from this thing. Let me reposition the camera here a little bit. All right, I'm gonna have to duck down a little bit so you can see me in this, but let me just do this real quick. Yeah, I'm liking that little webcam. It's nice. I had the little camera attachment with it, so I can just put it on my tripod and rock and roll with it. So let's just let's see. I don't know where my other plate is, so we'll just go from here. So it's funny. Somebody had commented when I posted up the picture of the cornbread in the community profile or community section of my channel. Somebody was like, "It looks awesome, but why in the world is it not cut like pie? It was cut like squares." And I didn't know there was really a difference. So I'm gonna cut it like pie this time. I would normally cut it like just like a square, but I guess the pie is the way to do it. So let's see here. I gotta say, I am rather proud of myself that this came together so well. This looks really good. Like I was saying when we got going, I'm not exactly the world's best cook, but here's what the cornbread looks like. So it smells absolutely incredible. Let's hope it tastes good because it looks great. It smells great. Let's get some butter on here and see how it tastes. If it doesn't taste good, I'll be honest and say it doesn't taste good. Because the only ingredient that I was missing on here was the mild cheddar shredded. So I put in extra Monterey, but hopefully that mild cheddar absence won't be a big deal. Whew, this is hot. It's really hot, so I gotta cool it off real quick. That is solid. Oh man. Okay, I'm recommending this recipe. This is really good. It doesn't taste like cake like that other one would have, because some people had commented that they had tried that other recipe. This is like, it's like the chunky type of bread that you get, you know? And the creamed corn in it, that's really good because it gets it really moist. So the cream corn is good. Another thing too is I read in the comment section of the uh, of the instructions on how to make this, and somebody said that to only use one stick, not 1.5 sticks of butter. So I only use one stick of butter, and it seems plenty fine. It tastes fine, like buttery. And the chilies are really good in there too. It gives a little bit of a spicy kick. I gotta say, I'm impressed. Ah, Baby Yoda, thanks, man. All right, let's see. I'm seeing if I. Oh, some people are asking about like finances and stuff like that. Yeah, like $2,000 a month is a good budget to do pretty much whatever you want back here. Um, that includes car insurance and health insurance. Um, let's see here. What else? Big slather of real butter. Yeah. I'm impressed with this. It looks good too. It looks like legit cornbread. So, oh yeah. And the bottom part where it's just like barely toasted, but like crispy. It's like the perfect amount. That turned out great. I am really impressed with this. Woo, man, it's gonna be hard not to just have this for dinner, but I want to keep it for for the future. So, all right. Let's do a couple minutes of questions here, and then I'm gonna log off and take Sierra for a WALK since she had her dinner just recently, and then get my dinner going as well. So, does anybody have any questions about anything? Because I'd be happy to answer some stuff before we log off here. What's for dessert? Cornbread. Let's see. I think like for dinner, I think like what I was saying was I'm going to do the smoked ham, the avocado salad, and then the sweet potato and cornbread. That's going to be a solid meal back here. So I'll be really excited about that. So Doug, for the gray water, I just use the leave no trace principles of 75 human paces away from any water source. Dig the cat hole 8 inches deep. Put your gray water in there. Be good to go. I just follow all that stuff on leave no trace. So I figure they get the best stuff. Do I get lonely? Yeah, every once in a while. You'll every once in a while, if I get lonely, I'll go into town and go hang out for the night. But for the most part, I'm good being solo. Like I don't usually have problems like with loneliness. I'd say maybe like once or twice a year I'll be like, gosh, I really need to go talk to somebody, and be in the presence of humans. But otherwise, it's just me and Sierra. We have a blast back here. Yeah, I've seen that lean-to travel or lean-to camper. I'm still on the fence with that. It just looks so flimsy because it's so lightweight. But I don't know. Maybe I'll be proven wrong with that product. Ah, syrup on the cornbread. That sounds great. And then Adam for live streaming again soon. Yeah, I'll probably do another one again this week. No, we'll see what's coming up. But yeah, I'll probably do another one. Am I reading any books, Mike? Yeah, I'm reading 1491 right now, and then I'm gonna start reading after that let's see, what is it? It's the book about what happened after the Alamo, after the war or the massacre at the Alamo. So I can't remember the name of it, but I just got that one. Lava tubes for Noah. Noah, well, I mean, like, this area is cool. Penitente Canyon for the lava tubes. I don't really know of any other areas that have lava tubes. I would imagine, places in New Mexico and stuff like that probably would. Chili and cornbread. That sounds good. Fortunately, I don't have any chili. Should have got some.
To Victoria with the bear fence. I've not really thought about that just because, like with truck camping and everything, uh, I'm inside a truck topper, so it's pretty safe. And on top of it, too, here in Colorado, we just have black bears, so they're not nearly as aggressive as grizzlies and stuff like that. So it's rather easy to manage. I had one day last year where I had 6 black bears come into camp, and I just chased them all off. If you yell at them real loud, they just run away. No, the volcano is not active. Hey, thanks, Baby Yoda. I appreciate it, man. Have a good night. Yeah, I've got insurance on Sierra. I also have that little chip to tracker, which is good. So, I just have some Carhartt gloves that I was using over the stove. I mean, they're just normal gloves. I've actually got fireplace gloves for the interior if I want to actually reach in there and work with the coals a little bit. But those things always kind of cash out after one season. Hey, what's up, Jordan? To Cabin Dweller, Sierra's doing really good. She's bounced back well. Yeah, I like this camera. It's just a much better camera compared to the one that's built into the MacBook, and so I'll just be using this going forward and all that stuff. Baby Yoda, thanks, dude. It's a loaf. Yeah, it's a fat loaf of cornbread, that's for sure. For the wood, it's like for the hardwoods, it just depends on how much you get. The more you buy, of course, the cheaper it is. But um, the I think it's like 60% of a cord. It's like 130. So I mean, it's expensive, but it's not. It's expensive this year because of the wood shortage. So that's why it's paying more. Normally that's like 120, 115. To James, I'm drinking the coffee, Mirage Coffee Roasters out of Moffat. I've got their Sumatra Dark Roast, man. Super good coffee roaster. It's a small batch coffee roaster, and they've got this old school roaster that's like, I think it's from like 1890 or something like that, and it just does small batches. So they'll do all these different small batches, and you go in there and it's all on the wall, different ones they have. It's just amazing. Sorry, I'm not talking much. This stuff is so delicious, man. It is so good. To CLM, this is an airtight stove, and so if you're in a no fire zone, like a stage 1 or stage 2 fire ban, I think stage 2 you can't run anything. Like you can't run chainsaws, you can't have a stove going, you can't do anything that would be, you know, that can have potential to start a fire. With the different stage 1s, there's like different phases of stage 1. You're good with the wood stove. So, oh yeah, I've heard that Black Rifle coffee is really good. All right, cool. All right, cool. Well, I think I'm gonna log off now. We've been going now for almost 2 hours with the hiccup that I had before. But I love this new camera. It looks great, and so I think what I want to do is like when I get to a new location, especially when I start truck camping again, I want to do a live stream and show you all the truck camping setup and kind of when it's all deployed. So, but either way, I'll get a live stream set up this week. Maybe we'll do another cook session. If I'm still in the tent, if we're in the truck, then we'll do like a fireside chat, by a campfire one night or something like that. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Had a good time. And James, no, it's 1080p. It's not 4K for the camera here. So, but anyway, y'all have a good evening. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and thanks for supporting the channel by watching. I really appreciate it. It's just great to interact with everybody, and I really like it. So thanks a lot. So hope everybody has a good Saturday evening, and I'll catch up with you in the next couple of days. Thanks.